me to gavel tonight.
Good.
What am I gonna do?
Go for it. Go for it.
I call the committee meeting for city property and claims to order at 7:03. Woo. Let's see. Mr. Blair. So, from the docket of January 20th, 2015, I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 2, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to declare the following police department vehicles as surplus and available for disposition. A 2008 Ford Crown Vic, VIN number 2FAFP71VX8X146062 with 117,097 miles, condition poor. A 2008 Ford Crown Vic 1FAFP71V08X110770, 140,285 miles, condition poor.
Second.
Thank you. We do this all the time. They're trading in their vehicles. It's all part of the process. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? All those in,
They've actually been putting them on a website and selling them
yeah.
off.
Actually, thank you for bringing that up. I will be having Carol shortly after budget time, and at some point in here, I'll be bringing Carol down to talk about the website that they've been put. It's been relatively successful for dispositioning a variety of things and fetching a higher price than we would have in the past. So thank you for bringing that up. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 2, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to declare the following water department items for trade-in or resale value and declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. A 2001 Ford Ranger, VIN number 1FTYR 10U81TA25195 with 129,000 miles on it, condition poor.
Second.
Thank you very much. Again, we're replacing some vehicles with some of the money that's coming in, and it's time to move some other ones along. And 2001 with 129,000 miles from the water department, it has served its purpose.
This is a low truck on the totem pole, by the way. We're shifting some equipment around. So the truck we got is not replacing
Not
the
replacing,
Ranger.
no, you're not, they're not, but,
We're shifting some around.
okay. Any questions or concerns from anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 2, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to declare the following water department items for trade items available for trade-in or resale available and to resale value, and to declare the following as surplus and available for disposition. A 2000 Ford F-350 pickup, VIN number 1FTWF 32LXYEA 60271 with 173,098 miles, condition fair to poor.
Second.
Thank you. Again, any comments or questions? Any from anyone else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. I entertain a motion in accordance with Section 2, Chapter 2, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to declare the following park and forestry department items as surplus and available for disposition. One 1960 gravelly mower deck, model L202, serial number XXX123, condition poor. A quantity 1 gravelly snow blower attachment, serial number 05118375, condition poor.
Second.
If you have any questions or concerns, I did not have an opportunity to speak with the forestry department with regards to these, but
Those probably well outlived their usefulness. Parts are no longer
available from 1960.
Yeah.
Chances
So,
are.
Chances are that
Chances are.
they've been well used.
I'm quite confident.
Long since served the value.
So I just, again, like I said, if you have any questions, I don't believe that there's any reason to hold these back. And if we have any questions or concerns, I can follow up. Any other comments? Move for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 2, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, to declare the following water department items as surplus and available for disposition. Water meters, quantity 100, condition used. Scrap metal, quantity 100 pounds. A UPS battery backup APC brand, quantity 1, no longer works. And a lab line refrigerator, quantity 1, no longer works.
Second.
Thank you. So this is one of the first times I came up about surplusing and making available for disposition scrap metal. So I had a meeting today with Deb Gold and with Linda, and I got a very good, because anytime you see scrap come up, that, you know, you get a little concerned about making sure that the process is appropriate. And I got a nice education on that, and how now, however they choose to surplus it, if they're bringing it down to Stratner or wherever, same as the water meters, that those funds go back directly to the water department. So I was glad I had this in my department to learn a little bit about that. Any questions or concerns? Anybody? Welcome, Counselor Waite.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. I'll move for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion, and opposed, motion passes. Thank you very much. I do have, just so, and if anyone is looking in my my minutes, I do have some items that are being generously donated by the Friends of Cape Run Park Zoo. We have to, it kind of kicked off a bunch of questions. Deb met with the mayor to see how a donation of like blacktop should be appropriately handled here in the city, because once you put a shovel in, it classifies it as a different kind of job. So that I have the expectation very shortly we should have the appropriate answers for how to appropriately accept that, and I may have to have a brief meeting next Tuesday prior to our full council meeting to be able to accept those. I also have, there's 15 hexagon tables, 3 light fixtures, some blacktop and electrical work, and some landscape blocks. I have all photos and documentation of what they look like, so if anyone's interested, I'm happy to share those with you. But that concludes my business today for city property and claims. I call for an adjournment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:10.
The Committee on Ordinances, Elections, and Legislative Matters is canceled for tonight.
No, you're fine.
Special Committee on Dog Parks is canceled. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to go back a year or two, right?
No.
Gosh
Well,
almighty.
well, we do want to discontinue that if it's appropriate to, but before we do that, we want to bring the leadership of that, those volunteers in and talk to them, see how things going. Is there anything that we need to do from this perspective before we do that? It's something I had spoken with Mr. Cook about.
Yeah, and that sounds reasonable, too.
Then we can discontinue it.
Once we wrap it up, yeah, I have an update, but,
Mark,
Mark, do you
Mr.
have?
Cooper.
Sure. Yeah, sure, I can go.
Go right up.
I'm gonna go right up,
Yep.
step right up.
Didn't answer your phone the other day.
I know.
That's all right. I
was in
just wanted
Lexington.
everybody to know that
I was in
called.
Lexington. Sorry. Kentucky.
Lexington, Kentucky?
Not Mass.
No.
Okay. Call Public Safety Emergency Management to order 7:12. From the docket of January 20th, 2015, I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to approve the request of the mayor to allow the police department to expend approximately $15,600 of the 2015 Senator Charles E. Shannon Jr. Community Safety Initiative Grant. This grant requires a 25% match, which will be met by the use of Recreation Department facilities and salaries of existing employees.
Second.
Thank you. We received we all received a letter last week from the chief on this matter. Did anybody have any questions, comments, problems? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And motion passes. I entertain a motion in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to approve the request of the mayor to allow the fire department to expend approximately $9,318 of the fiscal year 2015 Student Awareness of Fire Education Safe Grant and a 2015 Senior Safe Grant from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. There is no matching requirement for this grant.
Second it.
Thank you, Councilor Churchill. Again, the fire chief sent to us last week in our packet the information on this. Having young kids in the school department, I see what comes home, and we talk about these kind of things, and they're important programs for both the students that benefit from this grant, but also the seniors that benefit from this grant in terms of things that are provided through the senior center. I'm not sure, I don't remember.
The grants are like 15 years old.
Yeah, this is
They
nice.
originated with the fire marshal, and you just have to apply and show you have the wherewithal to use the grant. And Attleboro's been doing it for quite some time.
Yes, and it does say the program has been a successful program for numerous years because of the cooperative efforts of the Attleboro Public Schools, the State Fire Marshal's Office, and the members of the Attleboro Fire Department. Any other questions from anybody? Comments, problems? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, motion passes. I entertain a motion to hold a joint public hearing on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2015, relative to the amendments of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro as follows. Medical marijuana uses registered marijuana dispensary.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Parika. I'm passing to you. I'm not going to read it this evening. I'm going to review any of the changes or what we changed as a result of the multiple meetings on this topic. So, as we had discussed and previously voted, actually, we agreed that it would be special municipal council permit in industrial and IBP. One thing that we had not previously discussed was a fee associated with the permit. So I've put in here, and I'm open for discussion. Linda and I talked about it, Frank and I talked about it. Amend 17-8.6 fee schedule by inserting the following. B, special permit registered marijuana dispensary, $1,500, and renumber the existing B to C, etc., through Q to R. And that $1,500 was, the number wasn't arbitrary. It was tossed back and forth on how we would come up with that. Multiple departments are involved. It's a high intensity and oversight required entity that would, and a new entity that would be coming into the city. We don't anticipate many of them, so we can't, the law won't allow it, so, at this time, so, I thought that was a reasonable amount of money. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the fee? Go.
Mr. Chairman, is there any correlation between other communities that do have these operating as to what the existing costs are to check on them? Keep them in
I mean,
compliance?
I could check in Rhode Island, what it is in Rhode Island, but it's not really relevant. And last time I checked, I think the only city that had one was Boston.
Okay.
All the others that had gotten approved, it's been a while since I've done that, and I've had conversation with Fairhaven and New Bedford and Taunton and many of the municipalities that were selected for them, and at that time, they didn't even have ordinances. Some of them hadn't even talked about it.
All right. I'm not a proponent of fees, but in this case, I'd like to see a high one.
Okay.
Is that a yearly fee?
Wait a minute, they have to, no, they don't have to apply yearly for the special permit. They get it, so it's a one-time fee. You want a yearly fee? Well, we can put that as a condition of the permit when we grant it. We can put additional special permits for inspections and what have you.
That's a good point, because the inspections would be continuous year to year.
Right.
If you had a one-fee schedule, you're not covering the expenses the
But
next
if they
year.
go in and do like, they're there checking the dumpster, which we've all talked about the dumpster fee, right? They're paying that. If they're there checking the fire suppression, they're paying that. If they, the
Yeah.
security system though, I don't know if it's, so I can, but I don't wanna beat and picky and blah, 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 blah.
That's
Let's just let's put it to bed.
Yes.
And let's get something, and if we have these things that come up, we can do special conditions as part of the special permit when we issue a licensing fee or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
We've,
sir.
we've adjusted fees and whatnot in the past, so if we find that it's a real burden to the police department or the fire department where they have to do it multiple times, I'm sure we can adjust it.
K, on the second page of this, there was some question about the floor plan requirements that I believe Councilor Conti had initially brought up, and that Doug had brought up. So with some discussion with Gary, Doug, Linda, myself, this is what, a detailed floor plan of the premises of the proposed registered marijuana dispensary that identifies the gross square footage and describes the functional areas of the establishment, including areas for any preparation of marijuana-infused products. That's been not necessarily added, but clarified. Page 3 at the top starts with 1 and then A through E. So what you have in front of you, I've made some changes to based on a couple of things. So letter A will read in the final 100 feet from any residential zoning district. B will be 1,000 feet from a parcel on which any other registered marijuana dispensary, including the site of the dispensary and any cultivation activities, is established. B will be 1,000, C will be 1,000 feet from a parcel on which any adult entertainment use is established. D will be 1,000 feet from any parcel containing a public or private school. E will be 500 feet from a registered daycare center or any family daycare home and group daycare home. And then 500 feet from any public park, recreational area, or facility in which children commonly congregate. So I just really changed the order so that the distance from residential was established right away to meet that threshold and then go through the others. In what you have in front of you, letter C reads 500 feet. I went through all of my emails and correspondence from the meetings, and the chief had brought to our attention early on that the federal law requires 1,000 feet from a school, so that's why I've changed it here in case any of you were wondering. And I think, one could argue that, a lot of this violates, all of it maybe, violates federal law, but in an effort to protect maybe those most vulnerable, I think 1,000 feet from the school, based on his suggestion, is reasonable. Councilor Waite.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to know if we can find out where that 1,000 feet came from. I didn't think there was any federal.
There is, I'll read it right verbatim
Okay.
from the police
I
chief to you,
appreciate
sir,
that.
for probably the. Let me start at the beginning.
See the law number or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want anybody confused or. Okay. It has been brought to my attention that federal law prohibits medical marijuana dispensaries from being within 1,000 feet of a school. The DEA has informed me that 21 U.S.C. 860 prohibits any distribution, legal or illegal, of any medical marijuana within 1,000 feet of the school. That was in an email from the police chief, Kyle P. Hegney, on Wednesday, September 18, 2013.
So again, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
21 U.S.C. 860.
Thank you.
Distribution or manufacturing in or near schools and colleges. On to the next, I don't believe there were any other, we inserted the word registered on the next to last page. So it will say to be known as a registered RMD that acquires, possesses, processes, etc. It's on the bottom of that page. I believe that was everyone's changes as we've gone through this process. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Walter?
It's not within your document, but I was wondering if, in your research, you had found that any of the banks in the state were going to be accepting money from the businesses.
So I did hear a couple of things. Some of it's anecdotal, some of it was on a program that I watched.
Might have been the same one I watched.
I think it was, because I think you sent me the link, and I think I went on to online and watched it. Was that they're having trouble. They're having trouble financing, and they're having trouble finding banks that will do business because of the whole federal problem.
Right.
But I suppose if they had enough money, they'll find somebody. People have started their own banks before these guys gotta have lots of money, they gotta have it to put it up front to start these things. It's not cheap, but it's not gonna be easy either from a banking perspective. I don't think if they receive federal money, there was some on that or something else I read, maybe from the bulletin, that if they receive if they're federally insured, that's an issue. So there are some banking hurdles that they need to overcome, certainly.
I asked the question, Mr. Chairman, because I did watch a report on 60 Minutes this past weekend, where they were in Colorado, where it's, even recreational material is legal, and every one of the businesses, and there are many that have opened, has no way to get rid of the cash that they take in. It's become a cash business only. And the only way that they've been able to take in the money and try to keep it safe is by having huge safes placed in those locations. I think it was their Attorney General who mentioned something about setting up, maybe it was time to set up a statewide credit union that would accept the cash and have accounts, but it wouldn't be a regular bank, it would be a credit union, and that just sparked the little idea in my head that our municipal credit union could probably use a good shot in the arm, and it would help bring down all of the interest rates for all of our loans if in fact we were one of the first communities in the state with the medical marijuana that actually has a credit union that will accept their cash and allow them to open a savings and checking and everything else that they would need, business accounts and such.
Yeah, just a comment,
Statewide.
I love your creative thinking, but Mr. Churchill can bring that to the credit union and
I couldn't get them to buy gold and silver, so I don't think they'll do that. When gold and silver was cheap.
But there are some, like I said, there are some hurdles in that front that they'll need to overcome. Any other questions or comments, sir?
I had one more question. So this is all going to be for a medical marijuana dispensary and also for a cultivation center.
Yes, sir.
All one shot. So a cultivation center could be separate, but they could open under this right here.
Yes, sir. It's both.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
I had asked you that.
Yeah, any other questions, comments? So really, tonight, just so I'm clear, we're voting on the public hearing on March 3rd. We're asking the planning board to do March 3rd, which they normally do the second Tuesday, but Linda has sent out an email when we vote it next week. If we have to adjust the date to accommodate the schedule of the planning board, we may have to do that at that time, just to give you all kind of fair warning that that's still a loose end. But again, we're voting to hold the public hearing March 3rd, 2015. All in favor? Any other questions before we move? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, motion passes. I also have, if you would like to see them, Linda will have some maps that she's now done for the second time for you all to take a look at if you'd like to see the areas in the industrial. It opens up quite a bit of area, so can all do that. Any other question? Oh, no, I'm done. Right?
Yeah.
Linda, am I done? Yes, I think I am. I don't have to read all this. Let me just make sure. Sorry. Yep. I'm good. Motion to, entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. We're adjourned 7:29. Thank you very much.
Shannon, do you have anything?
Oh, I canceled, I'm sorry, canceled.
Oh, you did, okay.
Canceled. Yeah, I was talking to Gary.
Oh, okay.
I heard you say.
Do you have a committee?
All I have, Heather and myself, and, yeah, I just,
Oh, I didn't know. Peter was on.
Mr. Conti. Yeah, Heather and myself.
Okay, as long as you have
I
to.
got enough.
Well, maybe.
Take them as Mr. Conti. I'd like to call the Committee for Transportation and Traffic to order at 7:30. I just wanted to give an update on some of the information. If you notice in your packet tonight, there is information of email communications and things from Doug Semple and myself, and Chief LaChance and myself. Also, information from Linda that Allison brought to the mayor's attention as to how, if in fact it's approved, how we would go about keeping either a right-of-way or an easement on Harvard Street to keep that gate that is on Bishop Feen's property, to keep the roadway passable should there be an emergency where that gate needs to be open and vehicles could travel either in or out. That's in the packet as well. Also in here, one of the things that initially I had, when Mr. Shervin had sent a letter to the mayor and to the president of the council, and then after that, it was placed in my committee. I did gather some information, previous information I had, and new information to update the information that I had from 2001. And I wrote a letter back to Mr. Shervin, and by that time, they had hired Mr. Casey as their attorney. And one of the things that I had said in the letter was that I believe that their parking spaces relative to the amount of seating and area that they have in their floor plan was non-compliant with the city zoning laws. So in that packet, you will find that there are certificates of inspection that expired in 2013, and this is from Doug's office, and they are working with FEAN right now on updating all of the area and space and issuing new certificates for occupation. So you're not going to see anything closed down or anything of that nature. I was doing this as part of my declaration to them that I thought that they were non-compliant for their parking spaces to begin with, and and this was me doing my homework as far as trying to back up that statement with documents. I had no idea that any of them had expired or anything of that nature. So I certainly did not do it to have the school shut down. And I wouldn't want that to happen at all.
and neither does the inspector, and that's why they're working with the school right now to do everything they need to do to have the new certificates issued and have them current. Yes, Councilor Hagan.
I know before when we were talking about even Attleboro High, and even I think when we were talking about when they were repainting the stripes and stuff, so the parking lot, are they gonna stripe it? Is that what you're saying? So I wonder if the spots are actually in line with the current size.
No, actually, what I'm talking about is,
That's why I'm a little confused.
there is a regulation under zoning, section 17-5.10, table for off-street parking regulations.
Yeah.
That also applies to schools as well. And for the amount of area and seating capacity, there are formulas that are used to determine how many parking spaces you are required to have by law for the amount of space, and in this case, students, that you have in certain areas. And so that's what they're going through, and that's all connected with the inspection certificates, because that takes all of that into consideration when they're doing their inspection as to make sure that it meets all of the zoning laws, as well as other things that the inspection department would look at, as opposed to like the fire department would look at more safety things, or those
So
kinds of
kind of
things.
like even like the stores that you've talked about before,
Yeah.
like some of the stores that they have to
Yeah,
have.
the restaurants have to have a certain amount of parking for
Parking.
the table seating that they
Okay.
have, and those kinds of things. Because even though it's a school, it's kind of set up, even though it's a nonprofit, it's set up as a business. So, under those, even though they can locate in any zoning area by law, then they still have to meet the zoning requirements for the area that they're using as it applies to parking spaces. So, anyway, they're working on that, so I don't want anybody to get upset about the fact that I had passed out copies of certificates that had expired. In one of the emails that's in here from Mr. Semple and from Chief LaChance, they talk about the fact that they're working with the school on resolving that issue. And the other thing that I had on the last page of the packet was about the approval of a plan for Bishop Feen to do some expansion on their gymnasium. And when I asked Mr. Servant about that during the meeting that we had with the mayor, I asked him how many parking spaces they may lose, and he said that there would be none. And I asked him why, and he said because it had not been approved by the diocese at that point. So at that point, his information was correct, that there would be no parking spaces lost. Because nothing has been submitted to the city, then I have no idea what their plans are going to be, and they were not obliged to, or even expected to share that information. It's only so much that's any of our business, you know? Yes, Councilor
So,
Church.
Mr. Chairman, if I may go back to the gate,
Yep.
I'm sure that the regulations may have changed, but in the early 80s, Chief Livesey issued an order through the marshal's office that that gate be erected for public safety. And the fire chief has the authority to do that. So no matter what is decided there, he can still make that gate a usable facility to the school, no matter what anybody else says, unless that ordinance has changed, and I believe it's 148, chapter 28B. So that's why that gate is there. If you remember, the city blocked it.
Yep.
And the fire chief said, no, we need to have access. At the time, I was the fire prevention officer, but Chief Livesey, through the marshal's office, issued a mandate to both the city and Bishop Fan that we need to have access to that. So that shouldn't really be an issue. You know, you could check with Chief LaChance. I think he still has that authority.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that.
And I wouldn't think the school would want to block that anyway. no matter what.
No, absolutely not, but I wanted to make that clear in that that won't happen because there will either be an easement or a right-of-way that will be on place on the deeds for the, presuming that it passes, of course. The way that the discontinuance works, sir, is that when, you probably know, is when the road is discontinued for that area, the road is split down the center, and all the property on this side of the roadway goes to the center of the street, all the property on this side of the roadway that abuts it goes to the center of the street. So theoretically, at that point, someone could put up a fence, or they could do most anything, because it's no longer a city-approved street or city-accepted street anymore. So in order to make sure on the city side that that roadway is kept clear and open at all times for access, for use of that gate, either by the school or by the city in a case of an emergency. That's why after the approval, the presumed approval, that's why those documents would be worded that way, to make sure that people are not going to get blocked in.
If you notice, the high school, even though past where the shop areas are for delivery,
Yep.
you still have a roadway behind the girls' gym.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just for the convenience of the school, that was mandated by the fire department. So Fian is not exempt from any of that, so they would have to.
No, I
They would have to comply.
And if there's no other questions or discussion, that's all the information that I have to pass on tonight. I don't have anything else in the committee that I can bring out tonight. I have traffic study commission tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll be able to come back with more in our next meetings. But other than that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:40. Thank you.
Mr. Blair's, I have one motion. Unless he runs out.
He may just be too late.
That's, you know what? I call budget and appropriations to order at 7:40. I have one motion this evening. From the docket of January 20th, 2015, I'm entertaining a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $34,830.34 to account 11241-000-578300 citywide reserve fund for transfer relative to the city of Attleboro's 100th celebration from the following accounts: $3,071.41 from account 11241-000-512015 citywide special event salaries, $5,449.70 from account 11241-000-53015 citywide special event, $18,825 from account 11241-000-577210 citywide parades, and $7,484.24 from account 11241-000-578030 citywide amusements.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Waite. If you remember back, and the date, I thought was on here,
Bless you.
if I'm not mistaken, was June. There was a vote taken.
July 17th.
I knew it was July, if it wasn't June, July. July 17th, it just wasn't on my, where the mayor requested $132,192.57 from citywide reserve fund, and to these four accounts. The accounts have now been satisfied, and he's asking us to transfer the money from these accounts back into the citywide reserve fund after the parades and whatnot have been satisfied. Mr. Conti, question?
Councilor Kirby, do you know whether or not this $34,830.34 represents money that was budgeted and not spent, or money that was raised by the committee?
I do not know. I can find out. All I know is I would like to move the money back because it's a reserve fund, and I'd like to keep that reserve fund as high as we can.
It's not important.
No, but I know that there was money brought in by fundraising, which I thought was a higher amount than this money that's being transferred back in. But I didn't receive a slip on how much that was. But my information was that he received over 50,000 in donations for the 100th celebration. But do I know that And do I know the dollar value? No, I haven't seen that. Mr. Churchill?
Mr. Chairman, this is city money going back to city money as
Correct.
opposed to fund money raised that was already spent.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
Is it possible to have a sheet on that?
yeah. I can ask for a breakdown of what we transferred, what came in for,
Maybe just a nice wrap-up of the cost, what came in.
we're having a full budget update on Thursday.
Yes, we are.
So, I don't think it would be, an extra sheet on that point probably won't be too much of a problem.
I
Okay,
appreciate your efforts, thank you.
not a problem. Any other questions regarding this? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion, opposed? Nope. Motion passes. That's all I have for budget and appropriations. Just remind my colleagues that we are having a committee meeting. I skipped you because you're in the office, but I'm almost done. We're having, it's okay. Committee meeting on Thursday night for the budget update. Barry and the mayor and a number of other guests that he has will come in to give us a full update. I have asked him for an agenda to be emailed in advance, so you should be looking for that. But I have asked, I have asked for that. I spoke with him directly about that over the weekend, and I believe I sent off a reminder as well. So
Okay, what
I'm
else?
sure that'll
What
be
time?
coming. And we're meeting at 7. There's also been, Linda was passing out a slip this evening that there's been a special meeting called. There's a communication that I understand the mayor needs to bring before us as well. So there is a special meeting that obviously Mr. Cook will be chairing, and then there'll be the committee meeting. With that, I move to adjourn. Oh, do you have a question, Mr. Cook?
Just a comment, I'm not available on Thursday at the, my employee Christmas holiday soiree that night, so I won't be here.
You need a ride home?
No.
Did you hear what I said? You got it for both sides, you're like, you need to ride home, I'm like, you need a date?
Neither. But just so you're not waiting for me.
No, I appreciate knowing that, and I'm sure that you'll have the opportunity to view it or go back on the live feed now.
Yeah.
So, again, move to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned at 7:45. Thank you.
Jonathan, you're all done? No, he's after you.
You're up. And then go that-
You got any? Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's an easy one, huh? I'd like to call Public Works, Committee on Public Works to order at 7:46. From the docket of January 20th, 2015. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to appropriate $34,026.92 from account 1-000-359000, undesignated fund balance, general government, as follows. $379 to account 16501-000-558090, Park and Forestry, supplies other. $1,269.06 to account 16501-000-553020, Park and Forestry, safety sign supplies. $1,815.58 to account 16501-000-548040, Park and Forestry supplies equipment. $2,213.28 to account 16501-000-558320, Park and Forestry foul weather gear. $4,842.50 to account 14201-000-558090, Public Works supplies other. $19,386.83 to account 14201-000-548040, Public Works supplies equipment, and $4,120 $1,000,000.67 to account 14201-000-558320 Public Works foul weather gear.
Second.
Second, let me grab my backup here. These particular items are safety-related items. I have a list here if you would like me to go over them.
I'm fine, Mr. Chairman.
fine,
Is that
too.
because the budget is a shortfall? Or
No.
this additional expense is not anticipated?
These are additional expenses to adequately supply our working personnel with the proper equipment to keep them
Right.
safe.
And not police and fire, but just the public.
This is just forestry and DPW. I will
have no
get down
problem.
further. I have a couple other motions. that
Mr. Chairman, I'm not concerned with the fact that we gotta do it, I do agree. I was just, my question is, was it in the budget or not in the budget? Is this unforeseen? What came up that raised this?
This is when money became available. This is one of the things we do,
Okay.
Ronnie.
So it was anticipated, just unfunded?
It was anticipated.
Now you answered my question.
Now we got some money to do it.
All right, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $4,524.89 from account 6100-578300 Water Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to the following accounts: $151.60 to account 6100-558320 Water Enterprise Fund Supplies Other, $4,373.29 to account 6100-558320 Water Enterprise Funds Foul Weather Gear. Have a second?
Second it.
This is a continuance of the same type of materials. I do have a list, and I'd be more than happy to share it with you. That is basically for our safety, for our men out there in protective gear. When we say foul weather gear, it's not just rain.
No, I know.
The other stuff, Ronnie understands that. but-
Do you want me to lift it up?
No, as long as you have it, so you understand. That's why I said, if anybody doesn't understand, I have a question, I got the
No, I
backup.
got it all, too.
Okay.
Peter,
Yes,
there's just a typo because the account numbers are the same, but the account names are different.
count numbers. Oh, okay.
So I'm sure you can fix that by next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I didn't even notice that. Thank you very much, sir. Any other questions?
No.
Comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $9,902.68 from account 6000-578300 Wastewater Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to the following accounts: $4,577.08 to account 6000-558090 Wastewater Enterprise Fund Supplies Other, $3,142 to account 6000-548030 Wastewater Enterprise Fund Supplies Equipment, $2,183.60 to account 6000-558320 Wastewater Enterprise Fund Foul Weather Gear.
Second it.
Second. Ditto on the last, yes, sir.
I just have a question.
Sure.
And I don't mean to be a stickler, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna be. So on all, not that we're surprised by that, but I look at Park and Forestry, Public Works, Water, they've all ordered cones, and they're $18.95 a piece.
This is something that I'll answer. Go ahead, you ask the question.
But at wastewater, it's $29.70. So I was curious as to why there was a cost discrepancy between them. If they're a larger cone, a heavier cone, a bigger cone, weighted differently. I'm just curious as to why we would be buying them for everyone else at a certain price point, but for wastewater it'd be at a different.
I didn't even notice wastewater higher or lower?
It's wastewater higher. For everyone else, their cones are $18.95 a piece. For wastewater, they're $29.70, and we're actually ordering a higher quantity than we're purchasing well, actually, with the exception of Public Works, we're ordering 150 of them at $18.95 a piece. But for wastewater, we're ordering 40, but it's, $10 more.
They gotta be a different type cone, but I'll look into it.
If you wouldn't mind, I would just
Sure.
appreciate, just to see
Gotta
what the
be.
discrepancy is, that's all. Or the difference, I'm not saying that there's a discrepancy.
They
I'm
could
just
have a
saying that-
sign on it, the cones come, different sizes, some of them got markers on them, but I'll look into that,
I appreciate that.
Mr. Chairman, if they're from the same company, they have to be different sizes.
yeah.
Are they from the same company?
It doesn't state what company they come from.
If you find out they're from the same company, you just answered your question.
Okay.
They're
I'll
different
check into
sizes.
it.
I'm just asking the question.
But I understand what you're saying, but I think they're different sizes.
I mean, I have lots of experience with cones. In my, we have little cones, we have ones we can see through the back windows. I'm just curious as to why it's different, so I'm asking
I
the question.
acquiesce. I surrender.
Any other questions or comments?
No,
Hearing none, all those in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Are you feeling better?
Not really.
Oh, wow.
Entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to transfer $11,990 from account 6100-578300, Water Enterprise Fund, Reserve Fund for transfer to account 6100-569010, Water Enterprise Fund taxes to other communities regarding funds to pay upcoming real estate taxes to other communities for the remainder of FY 2015.
Second.
This is, I think it was underfunded. And you got the copy
I
of
do.
that?
it was unintentionally unfunded.
It was underfunded in
Yeah.
the first budget,
Yep,
the memo.
yep.
Unintentionally underfunded by an
Yeah.
estimate of $11,000, the taxes we owed, so. We gotta pay our taxes,
Gotta
right?
do it.
Okay. Any other questions or
No.
comments?
None,
You don't
sir.
want the city to be repossessed, so.
Maybe certain.
Not yet. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Move to adjourn at 7:55.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Blue.
And the only question I gotta catch is why the cones are a different price, right? Now that we have a superintendent that's taking care of water and wastewater, one call.
There you have it.
Zoning and land use is canceled this evening.
Cabinet approving the city development is canceled this evening.
Okay.
That's a wrap then.
No, no, unfortunately,
Sorry.
it's not a wrap.
Save the best for last, right, Mr. Church?
I wouldn't say that, but thank you for that.
Definitely,
missed you.
Definitely the worst.
No, well, I'll be quick.
Well, we did miss you, and we do hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually watched her on TV in between medication. I'd like to call the licensing committee to get, at 7:56. I have two motions and a piece of information from the docket of December 16th, 2014. I entertain a motion to approve the request to withdraw the following applications. The application for a new 2014 junk dealer's license from Eco ATM Inc., 10121 Barnes Canyon Road, San Diego, California, to buy and use electronics for the fully automated kiosk machine to be located at 251 Washington Street, Attleboro, Mass. That's a Stop and Shop. And the second one, the second Stop and Shop for the application from the same dealership for the location at 469 Pleasant Street, which is the Stop and Shop.
Second.
When this originally came about, I had spoken to the police chief and a gentleman who was going to install these, and the deal has since, it's gone. They're not interested. Any other comments?
Nope.
Seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And just a piece of information, there's an ongoing condition with the renewal for a license of State Line Auto Brokers, Inc., 1115 Washington Street. And just so you understand, I'm in contact with their lawyer, the police, and the gentleman himself, and we have to resolve it. At this time, he's parking vehicles in an area that is not part of his plot plan, and the area that he's using is his own business. So at some point in time, he's probably going to have to change that. And in the meantime, I'm thinking, after talking to the administrator, that we might propose a temporary license for 2 months, in which time allows him to make that legislative decision. And if that time it's not completed, then the license won't be brought out. And I close the meeting at 7:58.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is a wrap.
Now it's a wrap.
Now it's a
Ron,
wrap.
hey,
Well, that's
you know what time, are you planning on going down there tomorrow? I'll meet you down there if you let me.
Hang on.
Yeah.
10,348 residential parcels, 10,000.